Shalom, you won't believe who I just seen that interview, man. We got a real update. The Messiah was up on Solomon Porch. Yeah, real, we gotta see him. Oh, we gotta dedicate. Come on, man. We gotta dedicate. You don't know about the temple, man. It's the feast of dedication. Let me tell you a little something. Look. The Father set us apart from other nations with the commandments. There was a Hebrew that was given wisdom and authority to judge his people. His father was ruler formerly. He built the temple, made sacrifices. The Psalms went up, the glory came down, the Levites scattered. He had a conversation with the Most High in Yahweh Shalom, my homeland. Year round, he had his eyes on them. The place was Jerusalem. The man's name is Solomon. Saints rejoice. Redemption is now. It's that time again in Christ's name. You got power to cast out devils and move mountains, but it won't happen if you doubt this. We fit the curses. To my sisters, stay humble and virtuous. To my brothers, realize we only servants. Stay in the Bible verses, our timing is perfect. You got it deep for the truth, they put the lies on the surface. Father, forgive me for my transgression. Either you with them or against them, ain't no half stepping. Ephesians 6:12-18, holy weapons. We only prepping, we dedicating your temple is essential. Forgive me for my transgression. Either you with them or against them, ain't no half stepping. Ephesians 6:12-18, holy weapons. We only prepping, we dedicating your temple is essential. Yeah, lost sheep, humble lions, spirit of Maccabees. They see the awakening, they want us back asleep. I see royal priests walking in servants and servants sitting on horses, rich, living like savage kings. Elders seeing visions, the youth are having dreams. Hosea 3:4-5 is slowly happening. Messiah gonna rule us during the time of David. Fear Abba do the commands, it ain't that complicated. Who am I? Just a Hebrew in the goddess nation. If it ain't edification, cut the conversation. You running from repentance, your time is wasted. I got discernment, we see through the smiling faces. Passing unrighteous judgment, that's abomination. We want to keep the laws, they want to cut our population. They see us waking up, they want us dead. You at the mountaintop, but do you know the ledge? Knowledge. Either you with them or against them, ain't no half stepping. Ephesians 6:12-18, holy weapons. We only prepping, we dedicating your temple is essential. Forgive me for my transgression. Either you with them or against them, ain't no half stepping. Ephesians 6:12-18, holy weapons. We only prepping, we dedicating your temple is essential. Yeah, fam. It makes sense now? We gotta dedicate. Yeah. We gotta tighten up. Yeah. Hey, look, you want to study, just hit me up. Yeah. Shalom, y'all most I bless you in your household. We gotta dedicate. Can't stay up. We gotta dedicate. Feel good. Yeah. Brothers. Yeah. No division linking up. That's a European brother. You can take it how you want it. We just want to get the peace. Point people toward the peace. You can make it how you want to make it. You know we speaking with the scripts. I'm working with the righteous. You can take it how you want to take it. That time is coming and they know it. They were never overthrow it. They can take it how they want to take it. Look, we the chose. You can see the hatred. Became a man and got out the matrix. Got any samples and got out the H. I hit the floor and got back to the basics. Deny it all and not deny your back. Held on to my soul, didn't have to buy it back. I was staying to the power for a better way. It was in the trap until the temple. What the world say? We dropping all, I hope you brought it along. Keep it humble since the meek will end up being challenged. On the top, on the devil's got the power with me. It's like a drug, I'm the Lord, Bobby Brown with me. You eat the bread, that's why you never sick. If you knew about the fruit, then you would get the sick. He turned his water to some yard, and now I'm feeling merry. Waxing hole in his skin, I'm an LK. No division linking up. That's a European brother. You can take it how you want to take it. We just want to keep the peace. Point people to the peace. You can make it what you want to make. You know we seeking with the scripts. I'm working with the righteous. You can take it how you want to take it. That time was coming in and know it. They were never overthrow it. They can take it how they want to take it. Fringes all over my garments. They like, what's the reason? We've been down for 400 years, but we up this season. Climbed out the dunghill, I had to up and leave it. Can't believe we the chosen, we used to be unbelievers. Brothers, mind closer forever. We ain't wishing, we praying. Eyes closed on these devils. Yasha told us watch and pray, so we awake. We know better, I'm seeking our wise counsel till I'm surrounded by elders. Big Bruce talking, I listen cause I can't learn enough. You know I go do the work, you know Mitch gon' burn them up. Daoud paved the lane for us, up in the damn got a testimony that'll wake the service up. They gon' hit this and turn it up. Soon enough, you gon' turn on your radio and it is true. It's Jacob Trouble, who you think they gon' go listen to? Hold up, ain't got nothing D-Rock. From Hardy Drive, got Sharala going live. Blow the trumpet, take up all the jobs. Towards nothing vision being north. That's the guy being brother. You can take it how you want to take it. We just want to keep peace, want people to the peace. You can make it how you want to make it. You know we sticking with the scripts, only working with the races. You can take it how you want to take it. That time was coming in and know what they were doing on the door. They can take it how you want to take it.
Shabbat Shalom, Facebook fam. Shabbat Shalom to all my peoples out of YouTube. We'd like to welcome each and every one of you to week 41 of the transformation of the so-called black man, of the so-called African-American man. Tonight, we'd like to give all praise and honor to Ahaya Bahashem Yeshaya, Royal Walk. And for those who are not familiar with the Hebrew, that is all praise to the Most High, in the name of Christ, as well as the Holy Spirit. Once again, we'd like to welcome each and every one of you to week 41 of the transformation of the so-called black man, of the so-called African man from the tribe of Judah for the nation of Israel. Shema Yasha Allah Ahaya, Allah Haya Nawa Ahaya Ka. Shema Yasha Allah Ahaya, Allah Haya Nawa Ahaya Ka. Shema Yasha Allah Ahaya, Allah Haya Nawa Ahaya Ka. Hear, O Israel. The Lord our God is one. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, Nick, could you let us know on YouTube that you're hearing us? That song, I'll make sure I send it to you after the lesson. Please comment and let you know if you can hear us. I don't know how in the world I hope it was on the whole time. Well, he had to if you heard the song. So yeah, so he had to be on. Let us know you can hear us on YouTube. And once again, we'd like to welcome each and every one, as you said, to week 41 of the transformation of the so-called black man, of the so-called African-American man who is from the tribe of Judah for the nation of Israel. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your busy schedule. We know you could have been anywhere in the world tonight, so due to the fact that you decided to join us, we do not take your time for granted. We just hope and pray that each and every one of you have had a blessed week. Hope that all is well with you and your families. I know you all can. Thank you, Minister. Good seeing you on with us tonight. Shabbat Shalom. You guys can mark yourself safe after Saturnella, you know what I'm saying? Mark yourself safe, you know what I'm saying? After the storm of Saturnella came in. Shabbat Shalom, Mama Vanita. Good seeing you on with us tonight. We just thank the Most High for another opportunity to be on with you guys tonight. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very, very important lesson that we want to bring forth to the people tonight. Very, very important lesson. But before we get into tonight's lesson, I do have a couple of announcements I want to drop. We would like to announce that we have a Better Day answer. Will be launching on January the 7th. Better Day answer launching January the 7th, 2020. We're really excited about it. The Most High has had us, for the most part, coming via social media, but now the process of beginning to go to the different cities and to build some roots, start, plant some roots in some of these cities is the season now. So we're really excited about that. And we thought it's no better to start but in our hometown in Wadesboro. So we will be starting January the 7th. And that address is South Rutherford Street, South Rutherford Street in Waysboro, North Carolina 28170. We'll be starting January the 7th for our Tuesday night's Q&A Bible study. And our first official Shabbat service will be that Friday, January the 10th at 7:30. So we're really excited about it. We ask you guys to continue to pray for us and continue to, that the Most High will continue to guide us and show us the way that He will have us to go. You understand? We also want to inform the people about our upcoming Purim service. That's going to be February the 15th at 131 Stetson Drive, Stetson Drive. That is in Charlotte, North Carolina. And that's going to be February the 15th, and the doors open at 5:30. So we would love for you guys to come out and fellowship with us for Purim. Please, ladies and gentlemen, hit us up by end of January, January 31st, if you guys are planning on attending our Purim celebration. I appreciate that, Og, man. Appreciate that, man. All praise to the Most High, man. He has truly blessed us and gave us favor with a man here in Anson County. And so we just really excited about going forward, doing what thus says the Most High. Lastly, next Tuesday is December the 31st. And we know a lot of our people treat this as the beginning of a new year. We in the truth understand what that means, but we know a lot of our brothers and sisters see this as a new beginning to a new year. So next week for our Transformation Tuesdays, where we normally do a Q&A, we're going to deliver a message. We're going to do a lesson entitled, "There Cannot Be a New You Without First Knowing Who You Are." There cannot be a new you without first knowing who you are. And we pray and hope that this be the year for those that bring an end to all these New Year resolutions, all this New Year, new me things, and after a couple of months going right back into the old ways. So we're praying and hoping that through the Spirit of the Most High, that this lesson, there cannot be a new you without first knowing who you are, is what we're going to be bringing out next Tuesday instead of our Q&A. Now, there's some dire questions that need to be answered. We will address those, but we're hoping that through this lesson that the Most High has given us for the people, we're praying and hoping that this will be something that will lead the people and open up the people and inspire the people to truly search, do some soul searching, and discover who they really are. So we're really excited about bringing this lesson to the people next Tuesday at 7:30. 7:30. Shabbat Shalom, Mishpach. It's good seeing you on with us tonight. Now that we got those things out of the way, tonight's lesson is entitled, ladies and gentlemen, Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. Now, you guys never hardly hear us say this, but tonight we're going to say this. We're going to ask you guys to share this page, share this live on your walls. We're going to ask those who are on YouTube to share this link. If you have any other area of social media, we're going to ask you to share this, because tonight, this is strictly for Israel. This is for Israel. We're not going to be talking to Christian Church tonight. We're not going to be talking to the world tonight. Directly, I would say. Tonight, this is strictly for Israel. Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. We are the last hope. And it's ironic that the ones that the world hate the most are the only hope that the world has. You're going to find that out tonight. Throughout this week and the week before, but most of this week, I just truly been doing some soul searching. I truly been trying to step outside of my feelings, step outside of what I felt that need to be done. Sometimes we can get in the way, and I heard my aunt bringing this out tonight. Sometimes we can get in the way of the Most High with trying to interject our own faith, our own goals, our own desires into this truth. And so a lot of times what will happen is we will get to the point where we will think that what we want to do is what the Most High wants us to do. And you're going to find out tonight that that's not always the case. That is not always the case, ladies and gentlemen. So from two perspectives, I want to bring this out tonight. I figured out that, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of our Christian brothers and sisters are never going to come to the truth. And I'm not saying that to be malicious. I'm just saying that as a fact. I was sitting back this week dealing with different family members, just different conversations with seeing different posts on social media. And I was watching how 40, 50, 60, 70-year-old people are still getting excited about Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Charlie Brown, and all of these different cartoons. And I was sitting back and just watching it. And I realized this is why the enemy indoctrinates at such an early age. Because if he can get you at your early age, he has you basically for the rest of his life, your life. And so as I was watching it, and I was watching the people, I realized that we're never going to get a lot of our people, because right now they see this truth as betraying their lives. They see this truth as going against everything they've known to be right. If you're 70 years old, if you're 40, 50 years old, and you're excited to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, that's only because when you was 3, you was 4, you was 5, it was told to you, this is what family is. This is what Jesus is. And I have watched my Christian brothers and sisters throughout this month try to convince themselves that Jesus is the reason for the season, when the actuality of the matter is that the Christians are the small minority when it comes to the totality of who's celebrating Christmas. When pretty much all of the networks and all of the stores have went away from saying Merry Christmas and saying Happy Holidays. But yet our Christian brothers and sisters keep saying Jesus is the reason for the season. I think it's almost as if they're trying to convince themselves. When I'm scrolling down social media and I'm seeing self-proclaimed proud Christians saying Merry Xmas, that's how I know. That's when I realized we're not going to get a lot of our brothers and sisters here. Because if you are not even saying Christ's name, but yet saying he's the reason for the season, there's no hope. And this was the nail in the coffin for me. I was watching a documentary Monday. This is when the Most High spoke to me for this lesson for this week. I was watching a documentary, and it was talking, of course, on Saturday Night Christmas. And they was going around the world to all these different countries, and it was showing them celebrating Christmas, right? Pakistan, India, countries in Africa, China, and all of them had white Jesus, white Santa, white statues, white disciples, white apostles, and none of them were white. And when I was sitting there watching it, I'm sitting here thinking, this remote village in Pakistan, right? A remote village in Pakistan where this guy is sitting there with his family with a Santa Claus hat on and a picture of white Jesus and a Christmas tree up in his house, right? And this when it came to me, ladies and gentlemen. Shabbat Shalom, our good Senor with us tonight. And this is when it resonated with me. Yo, we've been doing this awakening totally wrong. Like, For real. This awakening, we have approached this awakening. Shabbat Shalom, Sister Rodriguez, good seeing you over this night. We have been approaching this awakening completely wrong. We have been going in this thing as if we was going toe to toe with the Gentiles to prove that we are the people. When the realization came to me, ladies and gentlemen, we are all they got. The Christian churches failed them. Islam never had a chance. Catholicism is straight from the devil. Judaism straight from the devil. It doesn't matter. Israel is the only light in a dark world. We have got to revamp this whole thing of what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a battle. This is not a revenge plot. This is a rescue mission of the Most High. And he has entrusted Israel in the rescue operation. And unless we understand that, we're going to fail the Most High. We are the only light in a dark world. And I'm going to prove that tonight. And I pray and hope, ladies and gentlemen, for those who stay with us throughout this lesson, will understand you have a responsibility as being Israel. I'm praying and hoping that pride goes out of the equation. Arrogance goes out of the equation. And now it's strictly about doing the will of the Most High. Watch this. Let's get it. Let's dive in. John 8. I need you to hold that and get Matthew, the 5th chapter. Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. Watch this. John 8. I need you to hold that, ladies and gentlemen, and get Matthew, the 5th chapter. John 8, D. Let's start there, let's read verse 12 there.
Then spake Yeshua again unto them, saying,
Right?
I am the light of the world.
Uh-huh.
He that follows me shall not walk in darkness,
Right?
but shall have the light of life.
So, ladies and gentlemen, read that last part again, D, what he said. I am what? No, I am. Go ahead, sir.
I am the light of the world.
Uh-huh.
He that follows me shall not walk in darkness.
So, that like right there, that tells us right there, D, the only ones that are not in darkness are the ones that are following Hamashiach. But that white Jesus in Christianity is not Hamashiach. Let me get John 7:38. Right? Watch this.
He that believes on me,
That is the prerequisite. He that believes on me, what? As my denomination has said, as my grandma said, as my pastor said, how I feel in my heart. Uh-huh. Now go back and read John 8:12 again. Read it again. Right? I am the light of the world. Right? So that lets me know right there, D. Israel is the only light in a dark world. Because that Christ of Christianity is not the Christ of the Bible. The Muslims are not following Hamashiach. The Hindus are not following Hamashiach. The people of the world are not following Hamashiach. And that last part says what? But shall have what? So that means no one has the light of life but Israel. That's not Leviticus there, that's the Bible. Watch this. Let's go to Matthew 5. Watch this. Matthew 5, verse 14.
Ye are the light of the world.
Read it again.
Ye are the light of the world.
Now he's saying, now he done went from saying, I'm the light of the world to what?
Ye are the light of the world.
Now he has transformed that and saying, now Israel, you are the light of the world. Gentiles weren't there. Israel. Read it again. He says what?
Ye are the light of the world.
Right?
A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
And Christians will go here and they'll come back and read the scriptures and say, you talk about us. They want to assert religion as Christianity when Hamashiach made this statement. Constantine and the Romans hadn't got their creepy hands on this book at that time. So when he was talking about ye are the light of the world, he was talking to Israel. Watch this, verse 15. Right? So Israel, if you're getting this truth and this understanding, and you won't share it with your Christian brothers and sisters, if you won't share it with the Gentiles, you are doing the exact opposite of what Hamashiach told us to do here. You're taking your light and putting it on a bush. You understand? But he told us to do what? Verse 16?
Let your light so shine
Right.
before men,
Mm-hmm.
that they may see your good works
They may see your good works. So what the objective is to do is to not bring attention to us, right? But to bring attention to our God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And his name is Ahai. You understand? Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. Now, watch this. Let me get Hosea 1. I need you to hold that and get Jeremiah 17 and 4. Now, in these next 4 verses, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to show you is, I'm going to prove to you that Israel, the 12 tribes, the lost tribes of Israel, lost their heritage, right? And then I'm going to show you that the Gentiles were either misled or they're doing the misleading, right? One or the other. They either been lied to or they're the liars. So with Israel walking around not knowing who they are, and the Gentiles either being lied to or telling the lies, the only ones that's going to bring them into the truth is Israel that's been woke up.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this. Give me Hosea 1 and 9 and Jeremiah 17 and 4. Watch this.
Then said God, call his name Lord,
Right?
and for you are not my people.
You know what?
For you are not my people.
Not. Go ahead.
And I will not be your God.
Now, you see that? This, ladies and gentlemen, for you to fully understand this, Hosea was a prophet to the nation of Israel. But you understand that by this time, according to 1 Kings and 12th chapter, the nation of Israel has split into 2 nations. You have Israel and Judea. Because of Israel continuing to sin and sacrifice to false gods, the Most High told them, look, you're done. And according to 2 Kings 17, he cast them from their sight. Now that's the whole full lesson to break that down to get the understanding of that, right? Okay, so Israel, the 10 tribes, done. Now let me get Jeremiah 17 and 4. Watch this.
And thou even thyself shall discontinue from thy hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave thee, and will cause thee to serve thy enemies in a language thou knowest not.
Mm-hmm.
For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
And that's Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the ones who participated in the transatlantic slave trade. Right? So that's the entirety of the 12 tribes, heritage, identity, gone. Right? Now, we're going to move through these things fast because we got to get to a part where I'm going to have to slow down. So I'm moving fast right now, but we're going to slow down in the middle because I need to build this foundation to show you what is the total purpose of what we're trying to bring out here. Now, let me get Jeremiah 16 and 9, right? I need you to hold that and get Psalms 83. Yeah, I'm sorry, Salakia. Jeremiah 16 and 19. Let me get Jeremiah 16 and 19. I need you to hold that and give me Psalms 83. Right? So I just showed you that the 10 tribes in Hosea 1 lost their heritage. Jeremiah 17 and 4 shows that the land of Judea lost their heritage. Now watch this. Jeremiah 16 and 19.
O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of affliction.
Right.
The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth.
They're going to come from where?
From the ends of the earth.
Right.
And shall say, see our fathers have inherited lives.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, when Hamashiach comes back, the Gentiles are going to go to him and say, our fathers have inherited lies. You see that? So you got the 10 tribes, don't know who they are. You got Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, don't know who they are. Then you got the Gentiles standing there looking at Hamashiach says, what? What are they going to tell them? So our fathers lied to us in so many words. They told us that the black man, the so-called Mexican man, the so-called Native American man, the so-called Latinos and Hispanics were nothing. We didn't know they were your chosen people. We were told that all religions serve to God. That's what we were told, right? We were told this to just be good and you treat people right, that everything's okay. We didn't know no better, God. We didn't know no better, Christ. Our fathers inherited lies, and they told us the lies. Now, let's go to Psalms 83. Like I said, some Gentiles who have been lied to, but then there's other Gentiles that are the plotters and the liars. Watch this. Psalms 83, verse 1. Right? Now, I need y'all guys to see this, because I know that it's hard to believe that the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has enemies. Because in the Christian church, you're only learning that there's a God. That's it. You just hear the word God, and you don't understand that there's other principalities and fallen angels. So this is why many Christians get offended when someone say, yo, I'm praying to God, and someone say, which God? I serve God. Who is that? You get offended with that because you're naive to the fact that the religion of Christianity is not under the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Unknowingly. You understand? There's a popular saying that said good intentions pave the road to hell. You understand? Watch this. Verse 2.
Although thy enemies make a tumult.
Right?
And they that hate thee.
They that what?
Hate thee.
They hate who?
Hate thee.
Right? You see that? So, ladies and gentlemen, whether you want to believe it or not, there are people in this world who hate the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, we have a lesson to explain why they have a problem with him. We don't have time to go into that tonight. Right? So as a result of them hating the Most High, this is what happens. Verse 3.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They did what?
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Now, because they hate the Most High, these people have taken crafty counsel against his people. Go ahead.
They have consulted against thy hidden
and they have consulted against thy hidden ones. Now, this is what the Most High showed me the other day with this verse, D. How can they be hidden if everybody know who they is? You see that? Because at the time when David wrote this song, the 12 tribes knew exactly who they were. The crafty counsel had not took place here. We had been always looking at this like this was a current situation. No, The Most High showed me this week, this is what was to come. Because they was hidden, because they were 12 lost tribes. You see that? So the crafty counsel, ladies and gentlemen, was to keep those who didn't know who they were hidden. And we're going to show you who those guys was in a minute. When he showed me that this week, I was like, wow, I never looked at it that way. And what was their job, D? What was their whole design to do? Verse 4?
They said, come and let us off.
He's now, what point in history can anyone bring to me that the Jewish people did not know they were Jewish? Right? No matter what country they was on, they was always saying we're Jewish. Whether it was in America, whether it was in England, whether it was in Germany, whether it was in Australia, whether it was in Russia, whether it was somewhere in what they call the Middle East, there was always knowing I'm Jewish. Ever since they started calling themselves that in 150 BC. Another lesson for another time, though, right? And what else do they want to do?
In the name of Israel, may be no more.
So that the name of Israel will be no more remembrance. Now, I know my Christian brothers and sisters, when they hear that, they're going to say, hold up, I thought that happened in 1948. Well, why is it that if I ask you who God's chosen people is, you won't say Israelites? You will say Jewish. Right? I'm going to show you in a minute who was behind it and how they done it. If I ask you, who were those people over there? You won't say Israelites, you'll say Israelis. You see that? So we see here, ladies and gentlemen, that the 10 tribes, according to Hosea 1:9 and Jeremiah 6:17-4, lost their heritage and their identity. We saw, according to Jeremiah 16:19, that at the end, when Hamashiach comes back, the Gentiles will come to them and say, our fathers inherited lies, which means that there was another set of Gentiles that was over there telling the lies. And you're going to find out who those liars was in a minute. Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. Watch this. Now, D, let's go to Ecclesiastes 8. I need you to hold that and get Deuteronomy 4. Now let's build this foundation on why and how, why it's important for us to operate from that perspective. We've been walking from an arrogance and prideful perspective as if, I'm Israel, I'm Israel, I'm Israel. When we need to be saying, that's the God, this is the Savior. I'm just his representative. I'm just his ambassador. We haven't been operating as ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen. We've been operating as if we were the people. Like we the end all. No. Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. Watch this. Shabbat Shalom, Mishpah, good seeing you on What Is Tonight. Watch this. Ecclesiastes chapter 8. I need you to hold that and get Deuteronomy 4. Ecclesiastes, D. Chapter 8. Let's get verses 11 and 12 there. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Now, those precepts that we just dropped. Now, watch this Ecclesiastes 8, what Solomon brings out here. Watch this. Chapter 8, verse 11 and 12. Watch this.
Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Y'all see that? Because the Most High released grace. Because when we was in Israel, when you broke the law, 2 or 3 witnesses, game over. Right? Nothing to talk about, no prayers, no back and forth. You sinned, game, stoned. Read it again. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Watch this.
Because sentence against an evil work is not executed.
You see, now because the Most High ain't doing that no more, right? Is what? Fully set into them to do evil. Because once Israel lost and failed, the light is gone. When Israel had to run into Africa and went off into slavery in every nation, the light went out, ladies and gentlemen. The light went out. The world got dark. You understand? You understand? Watch this, verse 12.
Though a sinner do an evil 100 times,
right?
His days be prolonged.
So what is happening is now, because you got all these evil and wicked people publicly breaking laws, publicly lying, publicly fornicators, publicly adulterers, publicly homosexuals, publicly savages, publicly pedophiles, and their days are prolonged, everybody's like, yo, and most of them call themselves Christians. Peep that. Right? I'm not talking about the people in the world. I'm talking about pastors. Pastors with Christmas trees up in the churches, Santa Claus hats, sitting in the pulpit. You understand? So they're seeing this evil and wickedness all over the world. They're seeing the Jeffrey Epsteins. They're seeing the Harvey Weinsteins. They're seeing our rappers. They're seeing our athletes. They're seeing the actors and the actresses. They're seeing the drug dealers. All of these people that's doing all these things and living long lives. Watch this, but what? You see that? Psalmist said, listen, I don't care what these guys are doing. I know it still goes well with those who fear the Most High and doing what thus says the Most High. Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. Watch this. Deuteronomy 4. Let's go there. Watch this. When it hit me this week, fam, it hit me this week that we are hated. We are hated, yet we are the only hope. And this is the reason why the same one that perpetrated the lie are the same ones that are lying and devaluing and demonizing us today. Because they got to keep this lie going as long as possible. I brought out on dedication. America is surviving right now based on the sins of Israel. Israel, wake up. When Judah rises, someone must fall. And they understand that. So now they have to demonize Jacob because they know that Jacob seeketh a sign. But the Greeks, what they do what? They seek wisdom. And when Israel is out there on that block, Israel is up on social media breaking down these precepts better than they ever heard in their life. They know their pastor ain't dropping it. They're like, yo, man, they got to be the people. They got to be that way. They will be those descendants that will come to Hamashiach and say, surely our fathers have inherited lives. They're telling them that now. Watch this. And this is how they're going to do it. Deuteronomy 4, verse 1. Watch this.
Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers giveth you.
Why is it that we need to do that, D? Read that part again. He says, what I teach you for what? That ye may live. This is life. That's why Paul said in Romans 12, this is our reasonable service. We try that like Most High doing us a favor, like we doing the Most High a favor by keeping the commandments, so that we may live. Go ahead.
And go and possess the land.
Now we understand, ladies and gentlemen, when Deuteronomy 4 was written by Moses, that it was going into the promised land. But we understand now, where are we headed? Back to the promised land. And Malachi 3:6 tells me, for I am the Lord, now I change not. You understand? What he told us to get in the first time, we're going to have to get it to get back. Watch this, verse 2.
He said, add unto the word which I command you.
Read that again.
He said, add unto the word which I command you.
What about common sense?
He said, add unto the word which I command you.
Hold up now, hold on now, but what about being politically correct?
He said, add unto the word which I command you.
Right?
He has said, that you may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you.
So we can't add to it. We can't take it away. We can't put our own spin on it. This is the Lavender version, right? This is the better day version. No. Whatever he said, that's what we do, right? Verse 3, watch this.
Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor.
Right.
All the men that follow Baal Peor.
Right. Now let me bring this out. You got to go into Numbers the 25th chapter. For those who are not familiar with this scenario, the Most High, right, had brought us out of Egypt, right? So we come out of Egypt, and the king of Moab, Balak, seen us like, yo, man, them dudes is real. So he go gets a prophet Balaam, and said, I'm going to curse him. But when you go in and tell him to curse him, speak a curse over him. So, but when you go to Numbers 23, Balaam said, listen, hey, I can't curse when the Most High is blessed. So let me just put it out here for my people right now who are afraid, who are nervous, who feeling overwhelmed with this awakening. Ain't nothing that they can do to stop this awakening. They can lie, they can pass laws, they can trip us up, they can kill us, they can kill one over here, 15 will raise up. There's nothing they can do to stop this awakening. This ain't the Black Panther Party. COINTELPRO ain't working with this. Okay. It's over. Face it. Take it like a man. It's a wrap. You had a run, it's done. Okay? Now, you understand? Now, so what Balaam told him was, he like, listen, I can't curse them. The only way to stop them is they're going to have to curse themselves. So what did Balak do? Balak sent them fine women from Moab, and the Bible says that the Moabite women were very fair, right? So they begin to send the women out there and invite them to participate in these pagan rituals. And the Most High looked down there and seen his sons doing that. He dropped 23,000 of them in one day. Right? So, ladies and gentlemen, the Gentiles that are against us can't do nothing. The only ones that will keep this kingdom from us is us. You see that? This is why we must keep this law, statutes, and commandments to live. Shabbat Shalom, Ellen, good seeing you on with us tonight. Shabbat Shalom, RT, good seeing you on with us tonight. You understand? Watch this. Verse 4.
But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day.
Y'all see that? And he said, but the ones who didn't do that, you are going to go in. And for those who do not follow the ways of the flesh, but follow the Spirit, us and our descendants will go in. Watch this. But this is what I need you to see. Verse 5.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgment, even as the Lord my God commanded me.
Right?
And you should do so in the land whither you go to possess.
So what lets us know, ladies and gentlemen, that this is not a Sabbath thing. This is not a feast day thing. This is not a holy day thing. This is a lifestyle. Every day I wake up, and my pastor will say, wrapped up, tied up, tangled up in this law. Right now, right now. Not talk about we gonna get there. We gotta do it now. Right? Watch this though. Verse 6.
Therefore, and do them.
Right?
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation.
Read that again. Keep them, go ahead, and do them. Your wisdom and understanding. Y'all see that? Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. What happens? Go ahead.
We shall bear all these statutes.
We shall hear all these statutes.
So we shall hear all these statutes.
And what are they going to say?
Surely this great nation is wise and understanding.
Y'all see that? Now, that's why I took you to Ecclesiastes first. Because it said, because of the grace that the Most High has released, to do evil is all we want to do. But when the Gentiles going to see real Israel, real followers of Christ, they're going to say, what? Surely this great nation. Y'all see that? Israel. We are the only light in a dark world. And what else is it going to say? Verse 7?
What nation is there so great? Who has God so not unto them?
Because they're going to realize with everything that we're doing that we're the only ones walking with the Most High. Now, the Bible says that precept must be upon precept, right? And the Bible says upon 2 or 3 witnesses, let every word be established, right? Right. You might need to plug that up. So let's precept this and prove this. Let's go to Zechariah 12, right? I need you to hold that and get John 14. Now, before we go there, Dick, I want you to read that, what they're going to say. This is what the nations will see. This is what they're going to say. Notice, you have never seen or hear the Gentiles say this about the people that's over there in the land now. But because of what the Most High is going to do, what I'm going to show you here, this is what they're going to say. Watch this. Read that again, Dick, what the Gentiles say, verse 7.
So what nation is there so great?
Right? Right? So the nation's going to look and say, I ain't never seen nobody that the Most High, the God of all gods, is walking with. But this is how they're going to do it. Zechariah 12 and get John 14. Watch this. This is what the ones who are telling the lies fear. But it ain't nothing they can stop it. Watch this. Zechariah 12. Right? Zechariah 12 and get John 14 ready. Watch this. Zechariah 12, Deke, and start at verse 6. Watch this.
In that day will I make the governors of Judah like a hearth of fire among the wood,
Right?
and like a torch of fire in a sheet.
Right?
And they shall devour all the people round about,
Right?
on the right hand and on the left.
Right?
And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem.
Now notice who he said who's going to do it. Read that first part of verse 6 again. Who are you going to do it? The governors of Judah. That's the leaders of Judah. Who is Judah? The so-called black man, the so-called African-American man. All of the elders that are being raised up right now amongst the so-called blacks and the so-called African-Americans. Watch this. Verse 7. Why? Right? This is why, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing that predominantly right now, those that are awakening in America and around the world is the so-called black man. He said, I will save the tents of Judah first. Y'all see that? Watch this. But then watch this. This is what I wanted y'all to see. Verse 8.
In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
So he would defend that. When you see Jerusalem, he's talking about all 12 tribes. Go ahead. So that means the feeble ones of the 12 tribes will not be like warriors like David. And we know how David got down. But watch this. Go ahead.
And the house of David.
But the house of David, which is Judah, shall be what? Right. As the angel of the Lord goes before him, and that angel of the Lord is a Mashiach. We're not going to be God, but we will do the same works as a Mashiach did. Watch this. Let's go to John 14. Watch this. This is how the nations are going to look at us and say, what nation has God so near them? Watch this. John 14, verse 12. Watch this.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Go ahead.
And greater works than these.
And greater works is these.
Shall he do.
Right. See, that's why Zechariah said, because the angel of the Lord go before them. And we know that Romans 8:34 says that Mashiach doing what? Sitting on the right hand of the Most High, making intercession for us. Y'all see that? Watch this. Verse 13.
And whatsoever you shall ask in my name.
Whatsoever you shall ask in my name. So notice that you have to ask it in his name. It just ain't being Judah, it's the qualifier. He is the one who do the power. Right? Go ahead.
That will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son.
Y'all see that? And it goes right back to what we brought out in Matthew the 5th chapter, verse 16, that they will see our good works and glorify the Most High that's in heaven. It all goes back to him. This is why pride and arrogance, ladies and gentlemen, has to come out of the equation. You can't be doing it and then going and grabbing a phone trying to say, look at me, look at me. No, 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 no. Let me show you a Mashiach. Let me show you the Most High. The fingers must be pointing back to them. Read that again, Deacon. Says what? Verse 13.
Whatsoever you shall ask in my name, that will I do.
Ask where? You got to ask it what?
Ask in my name.
Go ahead.
That the Father may be glorified in the Son.
Right.
If you shall ask anything in my name, I will do it.
Now, but what's the qualifier? If you love me, keep my commandments. The same thing that Moses told us in Deuteronomy. Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. Shabbat shalom, Ms. Fox. Good seeing you on with us tonight. I hope y'all hearing what the Spirit is bringing out here tonight. Watch this. Now, let's get into it. Let's go to Tobit. Tobit is going to show us here. For those who don't have an apocrypha, you can go to Google, type in Tobit, Tobit, right? And put in chapter 4. And Tobit is going to give us the blueprint. Right? He's going to give us the blueprint here, right? Of how this thing is going to look, right? Tobit, chapter 4. And I need you to hold that and get 2 Timothy 4 ready, right? So this is how we're going to do this, Israel. Notice that we started out talking about we got to keep those commandments, right? We got to keep those commandments. But now in our lifestyles, in our lives that we're living, this is what our life has to look like, right? Watch this. Tobit, the 4th chapter. Let's start there at verse 5.
My son, be mindful of the Lord our God all thy days.
Right?
Let not thy will be set to sin
Mm-hmm.
or to transgress his commandments.
Right?
Do uprightly all thy life long, and follow not the ways of the unrighteous.
You see that? It's always going to go back to that law. Every time, everywhere. Right? Watch this. Verse 6.
For if thou deal truly,
Right.
thy doing shall prosperity succeed to thee,
Right?
and to all them that live justly.
Y'all see that? Because one of the things, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're going to have to be careful with is we can't, we got to be careful in understanding that the Christian church has some things right. One of the things that they had right, that Israel is suffering with right now, is worship. But the other thing that they have right that Israel ain't taking advantage of or ain't operating is the fact of the matter that the Most High want us to be prosperous. The Christian church will go into the Old Testament, say the Old Testament is done away with, but will claim all of the blessings that is spoken in the Old Testament. But those blessings were spoken to who? Israel, not the Christians. So we have to realize that the Most High wants us to be blessed. The Bible tells us in Psalm 35, verse 27, that he takes pleasure in the prosperity of his servants. All this work, Israel, that we got to do, you ain't going to be able to do it without money. Okay. And let me stop here for a second. And I know this is off topic, but I need to bring this out. If I see one more person post on social media talking about the tithes used to be meat and vegetables and fruit, you guys are going to get blocked and deleted. You guys are imbeciles. You're delusional. I'm sorry to have to just say it like that, but it's a fact. It's ridiculous. Okay. Nobody in Israel was getting a paycheck. Okay. You didn't have to go down there to the bank and cash a check. You grew corn. My man down the road fish. My aunt over there, he had tomatoes, and my man's over here had sheep. So they lived on what they call a barter system. Okay? This is the reason why when they took care of the Levites, they didn't have to bring money because all of the people brought what they had. I didn't have to go to Walmart and buy it when my man's is bringing me everything I need. It's ridiculous. If you don't want to sow, if you don't want to tithe, if you don't want to give alms to the poor, then don't do it. Stay on your island over there. Don't do nothing and don't get nothing. Okay? You ain't doing no works, ain't feeding no homeless, ain't helping no widows, ain't helping. What are you gonna do? You're gonna take some corn, you're gonna take some fruit down to the light bill place and pay that widow who can't get the lights on? It's tired of Israel just talking madness just to sound deep because you don't want to do the work. You don't want to do nothing, then you stay in your little corner at your little computer over there while the rest of us who are doing the work can do the work. Because we already know we can't depend on you anyway. You ain't coming to the gatherings. When it's time to go do the work, you're nowhere to be found. You at a computer typing. You know, tithes is corn and fruit, bro. We already know we can't depend on you. Ridiculous. Get off my soapbox. Let's get back in the spirit. Let's read that again. Verse 6. Tobit 4 and 6. Yeah, verse 6. Let's read that again. No, just read 6. Yeah.
For if thou deal truly,
if you deal truly,
thou doing shall prosperously succeed to thee,
right?
And to do all them that do justly.
Go ahead.
Give alms of thy substance.
Give alms of thy substance. Mm-hmm. Poor, and the face of God shall not be turned away from thee. I guess they ain't never read that verse, right? I guess they ain't never read that verse, right? Because you're going to take some apples and oranges down to my man that's in the streets right now. They ain't got no house, no coat. But you're going to give them some apples and some oranges, right? And then when the church don't do the work, and when we don't get the work done, they be like, man, see what I'm talking about? It's work got to be done out here. And we living in a Babylonian system that ain't taking fruits and vegetables at Walmart, homeboy. The water bill ain't gonna get paid by that. That sister that needs help with her kids, she need more than that, homeboy. But we know you ain't gonna do no work anyway. You just sitting on your computer talking, right? We know, sister, we can't depend on you to do anything, right? So he said, when you do these things and you don't turn your face against the poor, right? The Most High won't turn his face on you. Watch this, verse 8.
If thou hast abundance, give alms accordingly.
So when you got abundance, when you got a lot of money, you give alms, which is helping the poor, according to the amount of money that you have. Go ahead. But if you don't got a lot of money, you see that? Because Israel, we are the only light in the dark world. Our people are struggling. I mean, my brothers today on a conference call planning this conference that we got coming up. And one of the things that my brother was bringing out was like, listen, hey, I grew up poor. I was like, yo, bro, I grew up poor. He's like, yo, we got to have this, make this knowledge available to our people. Everybody not going to be able to pay registration. So everybody was like, con, let's get it done. So we think when it's time for us to go get the seminar rooms, we're gonna take fruits and vegetables down there and some fish. You think they're gonna take it, right? But the same people, right? If we charge to get into the conference, oh man, you don't supposed to charge for that. But they'll say we ain't supposed to take tithes and offering. What are you talking about, man? It's crazy out here, bro. It's always the people on the sidelines that got so much to say, right? So he said, listen, no matter how much money that you have, you give according to what you have. You got a lot of money, you give a lot. You make a little bit of money, you give a little, right? Verse 9. The day of necessity. This is how it's going to work out. Because now that we're taking care of our brothers and sisters who are in a place where they can't do for themselves, when we get in that wilderness, when we get in that dry place, when we get in that famine time, when things that come to us, the Most High is going to be just releasing that stuff onto us. Right? Watch this. Verse 10. Verse 10.
Because the alms do deliver from death.
What? They do what?
Because the alms do deliver from death.
Right?
And suffer not.
You see that? Israel, you're the only light in a dark world. Your arms will not keep you from being delivered back into that same darkness. When the spot get tough, you don't want to be that guy that's sitting behind that bush trying to use your grace card to cook that swine. Right? Right? Watch this. Verse 11.
Alms is a good gift unto all that give it in the sight of the Most High.
Now watch this, verse 12.
Beware of a whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Read that again.
Beware of all whoredom.
Beware of all whoredom, my son and my daughter. Let's make that clear. Go ahead. Right? And take not a strange woman or strange husband to marry, Israel. You must take upon an Israelite to marry. Why? Go ahead.
Which is not of thy father's tribe, for we are the children of the prophets.
Because we are the children of the prophets. Go ahead. Noah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? And that she shall inherit the land. So Israel, you must marry amongst the 12 tribes. This is very important. Because they're going to see our families. And they're going to see that law. They're going to see that spirit. And they're going to see Hamashiach. And the rest of the nations are going to look and say, We must pattern ourselves off of this. Right now, because some people chose not to do this, this is why you're having problems right now. And Israel, you must understand, when you talk about marry amongst your fathers, that also means just being black, just being African American, just being Hispanic, Native American, and just being Latino don't count. They must be in the truth. Ask your brothers and sisters right now who are going through hell right now during these Christian holidays right now. Would they have not, wish they would have not done what they done? Because I'm telling you right now, everybody not going to be willing to give up the Christmas tree. Everybody not going to be willing to give up Groundhog Day. Some people fighting over Groundhog Day. Some women are not going to be hearing, understanding that Valentine's Day is pagan. They're not going to hear it. They won't talk to you for months over it. Okay? Some people not going to understand the fact that from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, that you ain't want to go to the mall and the outlet stores. Okay? That's going to be non-negotiable for some people. Right? This is all of this. We are the only light in a dark world. And you can't bring darkness into the home, darkness into your light, and saying you're going to bring out light. It will ultimately put out your light. Go ahead. Verse 13.
Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren.
Love thy brethren.
And despise not in thy heart thy brethren, the sons and daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them. For in pride is destruction and much trouble, and lewdness is decay and great want. For lewdness is the mother of family.
Now we're going to break that down because Tobit brought out a lot right there. Let's start back from the beginning, D. Read that again. He says what?
Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren.
Love thy brethren. Go ahead.
And despise not in thy heart thy brethren, thy sons and thy daughters of thy people.
Now, one of the things, ladies and gentlemen, Israel, that we're going to have to realize is we're going to have to clean up all this internal fighting amongst our nation. Because one of the things that is often thrown out there, especially by the Jewish people, is look at your neighborhoods, look at the way you treat each other. Y'all are killing each other. That's what the Gentiles like to throw out all the time. And if we're going to be a light in this dark world, our nations amongst our community must reflect this truth. And lately, what's been coming out on social media through people that call themselves Israelites, it's not a good look. All this calling people back out, calling people out, tagging people in posts, all this debating, all of this, you said this, they said that, sneak dissing, throwing a rock, hiding your hands. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. This is not helping us. This is not helping the cause of being the light in a dark world. Go ahead.
And not taking the wife of them.
And not taking a wife of them. Listen. I don't know how we got to this point where sleeping with someone else's husband or wife is a badge of honor. I don't know how we got there. That at one point in time, you got no props from that. You got no love from that. For some reason or another, there's now people making songs about it and high-fiving each other. That's wicked. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff that's going down is people that know each other. You dapping the dude up, and you sleeping with his wife. You hanging out with the sister, knowing that you having sex with her husband. That's wicked, man. There ain't nothing cool about that at all. We got to stop this madness. Go ahead.
For in pride is destruction
Right.
and much trouble.
Because in what?
For in pride is destruction and much trouble.
Go ahead.
And in lewdness is decay and great want.
Mm-hmm.
For lewdness is the mother of family.
Because what?
Lewdness is the mother of family.
Lewdness is the mother of all family. That's how our lives are being destroyed, by living outside of the Most High. It is the reason why we're struggling. It's the reason why we're hungry. It's the reason why there's drought. You understand? Verse 14.
And have the wages of any man which has wrought for thee tarry with thee.
If you owe people money, if you said you're going to pay someone for doing a service, you must do what you honor your contract. You must keep your word. You must be a man of your word. Go ahead.
But give him it out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
For if thou serve God, he will also repay thee. Be circumspect, my son, in all things thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversations.
And be wise in all thy conversations. Verse 15.
Do that to no man which thou hatest. Drink not wine to make thee drunken, neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey.
Read that again.
Do that to no man which thou hatest.
If you don't want something to be done to you, if you hate that deed, why would you do that to somebody else? Like, I don't understand that. If you have a problem with something, if something, you just, makes you highly upset, how could you do that to someone else? I don't understand that, man. Right? Go ahead.
Drink not wine to make thee drunk.
Drink not wine to make thee drunk. How is it that we call ourselves Israelites and we're still drinking ourselves to sleep? What are we doing? Go ahead.
Neither let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey.
And let drunkenness go with thee in thy journey. Some of you are not only doing it in your crib, some of you are taking it to other people's spot. Some of you are ruining feast days and holy days with it. I'm hearing stories about that. They got to take my man's out back at the feast day because he done had one too many. At the feast day? Come on, man. Now you done got back tight. Now you saying what you really wanted to say. Come on, man. Israel, this should not be mentioned amongst us, man. Come on, man. What's this? Verse 16?
Give of thy bread to the hungry,
right?
And of thy garments to them that are naked,
Right?
And the fruits of thy abundance to the home,
Right?
And let thine eyes be envious when thou givest them.
Listen, man, listen. Okay. I don't understand how is it that you give something to somebody and then you sitting back. You know what I'm saying? You said a little hooded right there. Now I heard about that hood for him, bro. Mom and dad didn't have no money, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But if he stop buying all that wine, put that wine down, you know what I'm saying? You can have something. Come on, man. If you're gonna buy something, you're gonna do something for somebody, do it. And everybody don't need to know what you've done for somebody. Right? But here's where I always want to get props. That this life of the selfie now, when you gotta take a selfie, you gotta go live every time you do something. Come on, man. And another thing is this. And this, I don't know, this is the Most High saying this. Over in Romans 12, it says that we should rejoice with those who rejoice, and we should weep with those who weep. How is it that you see your art, right? You see this ministry over here doing some work, right? And then you sit back like, you know what I'm saying? How you hating over your brothers and your sisters putting their work, blessing Israel, and you mad at that? That's madness. But yet we're seeing that going on amongst Israel, where you see somebody doing good, they just open up a new spot, or now they got a venue where they got this thing going on with the homeless, or they're just doing this new ministry. They're working with kids now, or they're giving out clothes. Instead of supporting it and loving it and sharing it and promoting it, you over here hating like, man, ain't. Come on, man. Come on. We're all in this thing together. We're going to have to get away from this mentality, and me and my brothers were talking about that earlier today, where we're starting to see the same mentality of the Christian church slip over into Israel. Whereas now it's my congregation, my camp, my church, my people over here. We this and we over here. Listen, we are a nation. We are the 12 tribes of Israel. We have one king. His name is Yeshua HaMashiach, who the world knows to be Jesus Christ. We serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. His name is Ahia, Ashur, Ahia. That's it. Gotta stop. We gotta get away from all of this being separate. We should be one nation, one faith, one baptism. Because we all we got. And apparently, we're all the nations got. It's where we are the only light in a dark world. Watch this. Verse 17.
Pour out thy bread on the burial of the just,
Right?
but give nothing to the
But
wicked.
give nothing to the wicked. Go ahead.
As counsel the law that arise, and despise not any counsel that is profitable.
Mm-hmm.
Bless the Lord thy God always,
Right?
and desire of him that thy ways may be directed,
Mm-hmm.
and that all thy paths and counsels may prosper for every nation that has not counsel but the Lord himself.
Hold on. We can't smooth past that. Read that again, what he says. He says, and desire what?
And desire of him that thy ways may be directed.
Right?
And that all thy paths and counsel
May prosper. Go ahead.
For every nation has not counsel.
For every nation have not counsel. Y'all need to understand that. We are the only light in a dark world. I don't care what they said on TV, these Gentile nations can't go to the Most High unless they go through Israel. Know how I know that? Because they all got to pray in Christ's name. Y'all see that? They don't have no access to the Most High outside of Israel. And now as we're going into these last days, the Bible is telling the Gentiles that they must do now what? Cleave unto the house of Israel. No other nation has this counsel. The Most High has blessed us with direct access to the Most High, to him. We have to be the light and the answers to the nations. Read the rest of that. Go ahead.
For every nation has not counsel.
Right.
The Lord himself giveth all good things.
Right.
He that humbleth whom he will.
Right.
And as he will. Now therefore, my son, remember commandments, neither let them be put out of thy mind.
Neither let them be put out of thy mind. Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. Now, let's go to 2 Timothy 4. Let's go to 2 Timothy 4. I pray and hope that this is sparking a fire on the inside of our people to understand what really is at stake here. Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. This is a charge that Timothy was given by Paul. This is a charge that we're giving unto you, Israel. Watch this. 2 Timothy 4, let's start at verse 1. Watch this.
I charge thee, therefore, before God and the Lord Yeshua HaMashiach, who judged the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom.
So we see here That he will judge who?
The quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom.
And his kingdom. That's a judgment. That's a judgment that's coming. And you want to make sure that you're on the right side of that line. Verse 2, watch this.
Preach the word.
Preach the word.
Be instant in season, out of season.
So that means, ladies and gentlemen, that you being a light is not dependent upon how your day going. It's not dependent upon whether everything is going good for you. It's not dependent upon the sun shining or whether or not the air conditioner is blowing. It's not dependent upon whether your bills are paid. It's not dependent upon how you feel today. It's really not dependent upon how people see you in this world. Read it again. Deacon says what? Preach the word.
Be instant
in season and out of season. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Reprove.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
With all long suffering
and doctrine. You understand? We are the only light in the dark world. Watch this. Verse 3.
For the time will come.
For the time.
For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, you have to understand that Paul was writing this letter to Israelites for Israelites. So this is talking about what Israel will be doing, right? This is Jacob he's talking about. This is not the Gentiles. We understand that we got to be light to the Gentiles. But what Paul is talking about here is there's going to come a time that Israel ain't going to instill sound doctrine. You see that? And then we here. When you open up this Bible to your family and show them things in the word, they say, that's your opinion. When you say, yo, show me in the Bible what it says to celebrate Jesus' birthday, and they don't find it, but it tells you to celebrate the Passover, and they say we don't have to do that. Show me in the Bible where they was celebrating Thanksgiving. You won't find it. But you'll see here it says that Feast of First Fruits is a feast forever. And you say you don't got to do that. Show me in here where the Sabbath was changed to Sunday. They won't find it. But you'll see on here in Exodus 31 and 13, it says the Sabbath is a sign between his people, and they'll say, we don't have to do it. This is Israel saying this. Right? Read it again, Deacon says what? 2 Timothy 4 and 3. Go ahead. Well, they will not endure sound doctrine. Go ahead. But after what? See, that's what it all boils down to. That's what we was talking about in the beginning, ladies and gentlemen. This is about their flesh. When you have a parent with a child that is 1, 2, 3, 4 years old and celebrating Christmas, you know that it's about the parent. It has nothing to do with the child because that child will have no memory of it. Shabbat Shalom, Alexis, good seeing you with us tonight. So when you have a person with a child, 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, and you're telling them like, yo, man, Christmas is pagan, it's not of the Most High, you don't need to do this. And they say, well, I'm doing this for the kids. And that kid is 2 years old. They don't know anything about Christmas, don't know anything about it, always getting toys, always getting presents, always getting this. And they say, I'm doing it for the kids. That lets you know right there. Read it again. He says what? But what? But after their own lust. See, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, is that when people see the word lust, you only think of a sexual manner. But lust is not necessarily always of a sexual manner. It has anything to do with the flesh. Any tantalizing of the flesh. This is the reason that from November the 1st all the way through December, every grocery store, every department store you go into, they're playing Christmas songs because they know that it will register that Yuletide spirit, and you'll be in there like this, Walking Dead. They understand this. You may not realize it that you're being played, but they understand, they know it. That's why they do it. So now that triggers back. Okay, that's it. Okay, I gotta go get this. I gotta go do that. I gotta do this. I gotta go pay here. And then, but in January, February, the same people who do this will be complaining about no money, no access to be able to do this. It said the government is robbing us of our money. We don't have anything. We got to support black businesses, but you ain't supported a black business for 2 months. You've been giving it all to the Gentiles. You've been doing everything else, but then you come back and you get political and you get black power and you do all of this. You talk all this up until November comes and you'll go right back into it again. So in order to continue that lust of that flesh, what else would they do, Dick?
So they heap to themselves teachers peddling Jesus.
That's why they stay in the churches that they do. This is the reasons why they go to the people that they go, because they understand if I listen to anybody else, they will tell me contrary to my lust, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Y'all see that? I don't want to hear it. So they bring teachers in. This is why churches vote pastors in and out, so I can keep living the way I want to live. What kind of system you got when you can just vote a pastor out? We don't want to hear this anymore. You got to go. And you never notice in all these scenarios, it's never pastors that's robbing the church and sinning. They leave those guys there. The guys that's sleeping with everybody in the church, he never gets voted out. The guy that's homosexual, pedophile, never gets voted out. It's always the one that's saying, yo, man, we got to do what's said in this Bible. Oh, you got to get out of here, buddy. Get out of here. Keep it alone. Get him out of here. That's why. So Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. So you must do this. Because if we don't do it, the world is doomed. Watch this. Verse 4.
And they shall turn away their ears from the truth.
And they shall turn away their ears from the truth. Go ahead. And shall be turned on to fables. Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, the Pilgrims and the Indians. Fables. Y'all see that? This is Paul. It wasn't no such thing as none of that when Paul wrote this letter to Timothy. But ain't that where we at right now? So the whole world right now is captivated by fables. So the only way they're going to see truth, Israel, is that it's us. Watch this. Go ahead. Did you enjoy something?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5.
Well, watch thou in all things.
So we must watch there in all things. Go ahead. And we must endure the afflictions. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Make full proof of thy ministry. And that's what Toby was talking about, that we must be that light. When they see us, they must not see Israelite. They must not see fringes. They must not see hair wrap. They must see a Mashiach. Now, this will make it 3 hours. I'll take it. So I think we need to revisit this. I thought this was going to move a lot faster. So let's just X this out and let's deal with that. And we'll come back to that. Because that's precept. You see what I'm saying? So let's go to Ephesians 5. All right. Matter of fact, before we go to Ephesians 5, let's go to Colossians 1. I need to bring something out in there real quick. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. You must understand that we are the light, the only light in a dark world. The only light. Okay, the only light. Go to Colossians 1, and we're going to go to Ephesians 5. We're going to end it off there tonight. Okay. Watch this. Because we have to make sure. Matter of fact, D, I don't want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me get that Colossians 1. I need you to hold that and get Romans 15. I'm sorry, man. That's why I was telling you how this goes in my head. Peace, King. Good seeing you one tonight, Aki. I'm just in my head, man. I'm just looking at the earth right now. It's like I'm standing out in the space right now. You understand? I'm standing in space. I'm just looking at the earth. I'm just trying to release this junk to the people. You feel me? Like I can go 6 hours a night. Like I can give you one of them, like we used to do. Like we used to do it. I can do that tonight, like no problem. But you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do that tonight. But hey. It's needed. Let me get that Colossians 1, right? I need you to hold that and get Romans 15. Okay. So this is what we declare to our people, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Let's go to Colossians 1, and let's start at verse 9. Watch this.
This cause we also, since the day we heard it,
right,
do not cease to pray for you,
right,
and to desire that you might be filled with the knowledge of his will and all wisdom and spiritual understanding.
Ladies and gentlemen, me and Jay are often misunderstood. People don't understand why we do what we do. But I need you guys to know that this is why we do what we do. Read that last part again, D. Why we do it. We do not what?
Do not cease to pray for you.
We are constantly praying and fasting for Israel. Go ahead.
And to desire that you may be filled with the knowledge of his will and all wisdom and spiritual understanding.
And we've been doing that since what? Read that. Yeah, go ahead.
That you might.
No. Read it since the what?
Yeah. For this cause we also, since the day we heard it.
Since the day we heard it. Okay. Since the day we heard that we was the children of Israel. That's been our motive ever since. That's when Isaiah 49:6 became our mission statement. Since the day we heard it. That is all we desire. You understand? We could care less if you follow us. We want you to follow him. We could care less about you knowing our name. We need you to know a higher. Because Lavanda and Jay's name standing at the throne room get you in. We're fully aware of that. Right? But if you know Yeshaya, you know a higher. Door open, bro. It's a door opener. You understand? Watch this. Verse 10.
That you might walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work.
Being fruitful in every good work, go ahead. And be increasing in the knowledge of the Most High. This is why we're doing the precepts. So that you will increase in the knowledge of the Most High. Go ahead. Strengthen with all might. Go ahead.
To be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light.
And what?
Of the saints in light.
And what?
In light.
In light. Go ahead. Who has delivered us from the power of darkness? Y'all see that? Y'all see that? This power that Hamashiach has released will deliver you from the power of darkness and will translate you into the kingdom of his dear son, right? Verse 13, 14.
In whom we have redemption through his blood.
Right?
Even the forgiveness of sins.
Even the forgiveness of sins. So I just wanted y'all to see that it ain't us that's going to deliver you from the power of darkness. It's him. Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. Now let's get Romans 15. And then we're going to end off on Ephesians 5. Well, this is matter of fact, D, I don't want Romans 15. I want Romans 13. This is what I want. This is what I want. Romans 13. Let's start at verse 10. Romans 13, verse 10.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor.
Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Go ahead.
Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law.
So if you truly love Israel, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to do everything you can to make sure that your people get this truth. If you truly love the Most High, you'll get past your feelings and you'll be a light unto the Gentiles. Verse 11.
And that, knowing the time, that now is high time to awaken out of sleep.
And we must wake up out of sleep, Israel. Go ahead.
For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
You must understand it's right around this corner. It's right here. You understand? It's right here. Verse 12.
The night is forspent,
Mm-hmm.
the day is at hand.
Right.
Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
Read that again.
Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness.
Let us cast off the works of darkness. Go ahead. And let us put on the armor of light. Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. Watch this. Verse 13.
Let us walk honestly as in the day,
Mm-hmm.
not in rioting
and drunkenness.
and
Right. Not in strife. Go ahead. Do what? Mm-hmm. Y'all see that? We are the only light, ladies and gentlemen, in a dark world. Now, let's end it off in Ephesians 5. Watch this. Ephesians 5. Start at verse 1.
We therefore followers of God as dear children,
Mm-hmm.
and walk in love as Hamashiach also has loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to God as a sweet smelling savor.
Mm-hmm.
But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as becometh saints.
Read that again. I think this needs to be driven in the heads of Israel. Read it again. It says what?
But fornication,
and all uncleanness. It cannot be named amongst Israel. We are the only light in a dark world. They can't see any of this when they see us. None of it. Verse 4.
Neither filthiness,
right?
No foolish talking.
Go ahead.
No jesting,
That jesting, ladies and gentlemen, is clowning and humiliating people. All of that has to go. Go ahead.
Which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks.
Right.
With this you know that no whoremonger, no unclean person, no covetous man, who is an idolater, has any inheritance in the kingdom of Hamashiach and of God.
Read it again, D, because for some reason or another, the Christian church is lying to people, and they're heaping these teachers to each other who will tell you that you're getting in anyway. But let's see what the Bible says on that. For this she know, no whoremonger, You don't got no inheritance. Nothing. We are the only light in a dark world. And unless they see it in us, they ain't gonna see it nowhere else. Watch this, verse 6.
Let no man deceive
Let
you
no man deceive you.
with vain words.
Uh-huh.
For because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience.
Read it again, D. Come on.
Let no man deceive
Let
you
no man deceive you.
with vain words.
Uh-huh.
For because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience.
He coming, man. No grace. Ain't no G passes. Verse 7.
Be not ye therefore partakers with them.
You see that? Go ahead.
For ye were sometimes darkness.
But see, we were sometime in darkness. Go ahead. But we are what? Uh-huh. Walk as children of light. You see that? Yeah, we used to be in the darkness. We used to do those things, but not no more. You must walk as children of light. Verse 9.
For the fruit of the Spirit is goodness and righteousness and truth.
Go ahead.
Even what is acceptable unto the Lord.
Proving what is acceptable to the Lord. This is how our lifestyles will show the Gentiles. It will show our Christians and brothers and sisters what is actually acceptable to the Most High by living it. Watch this. Verse 11.
And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness.
But rather reprove them. Talking about, man, you know what I'm saying? No wrong. We can go to the club. Are you serious? Nah. I remember when that whole little thing started coming into the Christian church, where people were talking about, yeah, you know what I'm saying, we go out to the Christian church, to the club, and we go in there, you know what I'm saying, but we just minister while we're in there. Boy, stop. We go in there, you know what I'm saying, we go to the parking lot, post up. Nah. Read it again, Dickie says what?
Have no fellowship with the unfruitful.
Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works, but we do what? Now let's get that right there. Let's get that Proverbs 28. You already know where I want to go. This is what happens. Proverbs 28:4. Watch this. This is how you're gonna know the difference between those who with the Most High and those who's with the religion of Christianity. Watch this.
They that forsake the law praise the wicked.
So they who forsake the Most High law, they praise the wicked. There's the one that's always celebrating these guys, talking about, man, this dude positive, man. He a real dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? He doing real work in the community, man. Read it again. He says, what? It's the ones who forsake the Most High's law is the one who praising the wicked. But watch this. But those who are keeping the law contend with them. Right? Back to Ephesians 5. Now read that again, verse 11 again.
And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness,
but rather reprove them. No fellowship, no jug. We ain't marrying you. We ain't kicking it with you. We ain't have no business with you. We're not living amongst you. We ain't doing none of it. We're going to be light. We'll help you out, but no fellowship. You understand? Watch this. Verse 12.
For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done again in secret.
It's a shame, man. Paul says it's a shame to even talk about it. Nonetheless, doing it. Watch this. Verse 13.
But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doth make manifest is light.
You see that? So he said, listen, the things that you approve of, the things that you correct, is what's going to ultimately come out your life. I will see who you are and how you stand spiritually by the life that you live in. That's how I know. Right? Watch this. Verse 14.
Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepeth, and arise from the dead. And Hamashiach shall give thee light.
And he shall give thee light. Verse 15.
See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise,
Mm-hmm.
redeeming the time because the days are evil.
Taking advantage of each day, ladies and gentlemen, because these days are evil. Go ahead.
Therefore, be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is.
Mm-hmm.
Be not drunk with wine,
Right.
wherein is excess, but filled with the
Be
Spirit,
filled with the Spirit. Go ahead.
speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs,
Mm-hmm.
singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord.
So how you gonna do this, ladies and gentlemen, if you ain't gathering on the Sabbath? If you ain't coming together for the feast days? If you ain't coming to build and jug with each other? You just in some lone ranger. There's a raging bull out there by yourself. Nah, we got to be together. We got to stand together. Verse 20.
Giving thanks always for all things unto God
Mhm.
and the Father in the name of our Lord Yeshua HaMashiach,
Right.
submitting yourselves one to another in fear of God.
Submitting yourselves to one another in the fear of the Most High. Israel, we are the only light in a dark world. Now tonight we'd like to give all praise and honor to Ahaya Bahashem Yeshaya Roach for everything that took place tonight. I pray and hope, ladies and gentlemen, as Mama Vanita said this word has inspired her, and I pray and hope that it has inspired you all that was with us. And I pray for those who watch this lesson in the days to come. I pray that you will share with your Israelite brothers and sisters, because I said tonight, this was a message for Israel. This is a message for us. We got so much work to do. And as I said on the outset, I truly think that we have been approaching this awakening from the wrong perspective. We have seen ourselves as us against the world, but the Most High this week showed me we are the only hope that the world has. And we can't take that for granted. The Most High saw fit for us to be born in these last days, for us to be the teachers and the prophets and the light in these last days. So, due to the fact that he saw us in this manner, we must live up to this charge, this cause that he gave us, this purpose, this destiny. Is where we are the only light in a dark world. So I pray and hope, ladies and gentlemen, that we go back into our closet, we spend the rest of this Sabbath just doing some self-evaluation. It's a lot of things that we really need to take a second look at. And I'm minded here, I want to leave this with you. Our father Moses, in Exodus 3rd chapter, when Moses was out in the fields and he saw the burning bush, the Bible says that he caught his eye, he saw it, and he walked past it. But then he turned around and he took a second look. And it was upon that second look is when the Most High began to speak. And what the Spirit is telling me to tell some of you today is that you took that initial look into this truth. You took that initial look into Deuteronomy 28. You checked out that initial video and you saw the meme, you saw the link, whatever the case may be. And you saw that you was Israel. You peeped it, you accepted it, and you kept walking. You said you're going to walk with it. But I think now it's time for you to take a second look. I think it's time to go back and do the first love. Because what's going to happen is when you take that second look, you're going to hear the Most High speak and open up your understanding in a manner in which you never have before. There were some things that you didn't have inside of you, a foundation, the spirit, that you didn't have inside of you initially and now you have it. There were some things that was in your life, some people that was in your life that were there in the beginning, that were not there, that are not there now. So if you take that second look, you may see another whole new thing that you never could have imagined. So we just want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that we're here for you, that we love you. The next Tuesday, on Transformation Tuesday, we won't be doing a Q&A, but we have a lesson coming entitled, "There Can't Be a New You Without First Knowing Who You Are." For all our people who see January 1st as a new year, as a new beginning for you, we're going to drop that. And hopefully through that lesson, you will be able to, that will facilitate the self-examination. You understand? I'm praying for Israel, man. There's a lot of things that the Most High has been showing me lately. And even Monique was like, "Yeah, bro, you straight?" You know, Phantom be asking me like I'm straight. It's like we stand off in space, but it's just like, you know, and please don't take this literally. You know how Moses went up and he saw some things and he just came back down. Well, I'm kind of that way. I ain't going nowhere. I don't want y'all to think that I ain't put myself on the level of the Most High as Moses. Okay, so don't think that I'm swagged up. But this week, I saw things in a totally different perspective than I ever have, and I'm starting to understand the severity of what's going on and how if we don't take this right approach, we're going to lose hundreds of thousands of people that we could have got. And at the Better Day Ministries, one soul lost is too many. I don't want to lose anybody. But it is what it is. I thank the Most High for my nephew and my brother being here today. And you got anything you want to bring out, MJ? Good? What the Most High saying? Every time you always hearing, so what the Most High saying to you right now? A lot. All right. We'll talk about it. But like we said, man, always continue to be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding to the work of the Most High higher. I want you to know that we love you. I want you to know that we're praying for you. Anything we can do, know that we're here for you. Sam Yasharala. Shalom.
Put this notice on the public. This they turn to the Torah. This they go and pick your brother up. You're so concerned with your 30-30. Learn quick to keep us to the study. All the way to Yerushalayim. And the false ones up in the land. We already know what he gonna do with them. I be dwelling on the prophecies. I sit and think what that probably take. A lot of guys live in falsehood, so their lives never find a make it. Never waiting on a rapture. I be looking to the wilderness. I never entertain a pastor. Stick in line to their ministry. Exodus on our bucket list with a strong fist. We watch a sea split. I might see this, then I don't see sick. Man, play your trust over weakness. No lie, tell the end to fight out their mind with the truth of the Torah that's left behind. But they all just get left behind. Public notice. Give this notice to the public. Public notice. Put this notice on the public. Public notice. Give this notice to the public.
We love each every one of y'all.
Public notice.
Barakatah. Yasharala. Shalom.